Hi, it's Joy, and today you're watching Arcane, Season 1, Episode 2. Some mysteries are better left unsolved. I loved the first episode. I'm so excited to jump back in and get to explore another one and get to know these characters in this world even more. A reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon 2 weeks in advance, the edited version 1 week in advance, and let us go.
Don't you think?
Also, this is the person that they broke into. Did that affect this guy at all?
Wait.
Oh my god. Holy shit! Whoa. Who was that? They're sorcerers. So is he trying to replicate that?
Careful with that, please.
I believe someone should have said that earlier.
Gosh, they have mocked things up for this guy, but
I do love a good conundrum.
this episode so far, none of it has gone the way I expected.
You reminded me of my
No?
Arcane is dangerous.
Arcane! Now we're on to something. Never really occurred to me why that name would make sense. Oof. His whole life. Get into this stage. Hello, Sunshine One.
If she didn't keep fixing these things, I wouldn't keep missing. That was the best job we've ever done.
This is one way to train aim and things. She's a much better aim than you. Sweetheart. Oh god.
You should see this.
Oh my god. They match the descriptions.
Got nothing.
Fuck. Oh. Oh lord. Oof, they know this place. The advantage is on them.
Over here.
Oh. Gotta look out for each other.
You need to hide those crystals.
Yeah, no shit.
Oh my god, just why are they so calm about this?
Something revolutionary, Alora. Something
Oh dear.
built over on the map.
We should hit them back.
Slight difference in world circumstances and opportunities.
The Bander I knew, the one who built the underground, wouldn't be afraid to fight.
Got more to lose now. He's seen how it can go wrong.
Do I look afraid?
No. You look weak.
Bander's gotta deal with the enforcers.
What deal?
Gosh. It just is amazing, isn't it? Like, the disparity in wealth and circumstance. And it's the same in the real world. They like the dramatic.
I now know my actions were against Academy regulations.
It's so weird when you know someone's voice so clearly
Endangered people.
and you can picture
It
them.
was reckless.
If you were a scientist, you'd know you can't make a prototype without breaking a few wrenches.
Do you have anything to show for your
Wrenches because they made the collapsible one.
You're saying your study was meaningless.
It was revolutionary.
Revolutionary how?
She's good at this. She knows how to get through it.
Doesn't understand. Perhaps we should just finish.
I was trying to create magic.
Oh, fuck. She's either going to really get their attention or make things 1,000 times worse.
Magic. This is the city of progress. Think of the wonders we could create.
I think he may have just about found the right person or signed his own
Understand what's at stake,
death warrant.
but lays waste to civilizations.
Jeez. This is
Cannot
so
happen,
well
my
made.
boy.
Son isn't in his right mind. His entire life he's chased an impossible dream.
Jesus. She's trying to save him.
Perhaps
Oh,
in this
Lord.
matter, a lesser sentence may suffice.
Just banished from the
I
academy.
move that Jace be
She's gonna try and get him because she wants someone to make her greater. Right? She's gonna get him off
Take
books.
your son home.
The end of his hopes and dreams for now. What on earth?
I'm about to make your day.
Oh god. Sinister man and his plans.
I could have convinced the council. If my own family won't help me.
It was too late. They were gonna exile you. I mean, maybe the woman who wants to be richer in her family or whatever might have pulled strings to get him secretly somewhere, but...
Boy,
Could it work?
Oh dear.
Could really invoke.
come tomorrow morning, his research will be safely disposed of.
No, it's not, because this guy's gonna steal it all, so don't be stupid.
Magic is far too dangerous.
He's too curious, he's gonna take it all.
It's time to let the monster out.
You don't have a choice. You could try to run, but you want power that badly. Oh goodness. So everything is going really well for everyone involved. Or at least for stupid evil man.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to explain.
I think you've done enough.
He's suffered far more than you have. His whole life's been derailed. You're just like, oh, I look a little embarrassed because I potentially went against someone else.
Attitude makes me question if your best is up to the task.
Oh, we'll find.
Do you want to do something then?
We've conducted it.
Whatever it takes. Turn the Undercity upside down if you have to. Just find them.
You're not going to live with the consequences of that, are you, up in your ivory towers?
4 sump rats will do. Search the place.
Oh, frack. Time to go, kids. It's a room that definitely has beds and belongings belonging to 4 children. Oh god, that's like the least secure place of all of them.
You people down here are all the same. Mistaking arrogance for bravery. You think
Or
you're
trying to get by with what they have.
But we all know there is a crime behind every coin that passes through this place.
And what about upstairs? It's just as corrupt, if not more corrupt.
You're just
You all pretend.
man in a little hole. And I'm gonna bury the lot of you.
Well, you look big and tough.
We need to fight back.
Oof.
And if you won't, I will. I want Powder to have more than that, and I'm willing to fight for it.
I know.
So was I.
The cost.
Just like you. If I hadn't, your parents would still be alive.
Mm-hmm.
But who are you willing to lose?
Exactly the
Lila?
cost.
Freya?
The cost is too high.
Powder?
What are we gonna do?
Something does
The
need to
enforcers will come
change.
back.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. All the...
Is he gonna jump? Jesus.
Am I interrupting?
Lives it could save. You've no idea how beautiful it is.
I know. They're just aware of the dark side of it too.
No one believed me.
And just the consequences of this, especially given that the show is called Arcane, is going to be huge. Because you can go into it with the best of intentions, but if the wrong people get their hands on it... A lot of these people and these names, I don't know if I meant to be like... Obviously, I don't know the games or anything, so I'm not, but I just... If you know the games, are people freaking out over like, I'm Victor, or when you met Jace, are these names that mean something to you or not? Don't tell me.
What makes you different makes you strong. Always remember that, okay?
Why does this feel like a goodbye? I'm scared that she's turning up Vi is going to say it was me or something. I'm worried. Oh god. She's sacrificing herself to save them. Fucking hell. That was not a good ending. The way she came and sat with Powder and said, you know, what makes you different is what makes you strong. Remember that. That was a goodbye. And even giving her the bear that she got down off the wires finally. I think at least that's what that was. And you know, the lesson really hit home that even his name is literally, I want to call him Vesemir, and he's very much not Vesemir. Vander, that's it, isn't it? That even Vander was like, I don't know what we're going to do, I don't know how we get out of this, but I'll find a way. That on top of him previously saying, what are you doing? You brought them into this, and her kind of knowing, well, it was my idea, it was my, I said, oh, should we go and do this thing? And then we did it, and this is what happened, has led to her turning herself in, and I hate that so much. But I'm also in awe of her bravery, because God knows what they'll do to her, or, I mean, prison, what that's like. Hopefully it's just prison. Maybe they'll go slightly lenient on her because she's young, but then she's a lowly downsider, so like they're all nothing. It breaks my heart to think of how much she's willing to sacrifice for her sister and for the rest of the people she cares about. I feel like when I know nothing about this show, but I'm pretty sure that I've seen Powder being older and called Jinx. That's like one of the only things that I thought it was. I knew one of the sisters was called Jinx, and given that I think that's Powder and she's older, which makes me think there's going to be a time jump at some point. And now I'm scared that it's going to be while she's in prison. God, it shows you how much responsibility is on some very, very young shoulders. How strong she is to be able to make that kind of decision, but also how, for the first time, she's realising Vander doesn't have an answer. I don't have any other answers, and I need to protect the people that depend on me. I think all those lessons about when you lead them into the danger, they'll follow you, they are your responsibility, are finally really hitting home. And unfortunately it's led to this, and I don't know, I don't know what the other options were. I don't think Vander could ever have given somebody's name, especially not when they're specifically looking for kids. But it's just terrible. And yet she's done this to protect Powder, because I assume she'll say, oh, I was working alone, or oh, the other kids were just working for me, or they'll be happy to blame her rather than blaming, like, as they've got someone to blame. It will save her, but it'll also save the people they care about and the way of life that they live. It will be a way to protect all of the people from the growing escalations, because the topsiders won't come and do any more escalations there, and it will stop another tragedy from happening. But it's just absolutely heartbreaking and tragic within itself, because they didn't go up there to, yeah, they were laughing and having a good time of it, but they're not stealing from the topsiders because they have everything in the world and they're bored. They're stealing because they need the money to live, because the conditions in the underside are much harder. It is much more of a fight to survive. They don't have the same opportunities as people on the top. And, you know, it mirrors problems in the real world, where those who have everything look down on those who don't, and they're like, oh my god, like those people, they're scum, aren't they? They steal things, and they do these awful things to feed their families. Oh my god, why didn't I mean, I'm okay, this is totally changing, but even now there is like a controversy in the British press at the moment of someone being like, oh well, if young people just didn't have cancelled their Netflix subscriptions, stopped having coffee on the weekends, or stopped having a daily coffee in a coffee shop, then they could buy a house at 21 like I did. And then it's like, she bought the house at 21 with the help of her parents, like 30 or 20 years ago, when house prices were drastically lower. Just, you know, absolute nonsense, basically. It's that idea of, well, if the poor just tried harder. Oh, but not trying like that. No, not trying like that. Anyway, I digress. They don't have the same opportunities that they would have on the top, and it shows. I'm just so worried for what is going to happen to Vi, but I'm proud of her in so many ways. Breaks my heart. Powder knew that goodbye felt pretty final, and just stressed in general. And then we have the stuff with Jace, and oh my god, that literally just told me his name and I cannot remember it. And his investigations into the Arcane. Now, at the moment, as things stand, I truly do believe that Jace wants to do good, that he has seen the power of magic, that he has seen that it saved him and his mother when they were stuck in a snowstorm and the world seemed like it would end. They were saved, and all that happened was she lost some fingers. But it gave them something out of nothing. And he wants to be able to replicate that power. For the most part, I truly do believe to be able to do good. I think part of it will be that sense of, well, if I have that power at my fingertips, then I will never be in that kind of danger again. I will be able to protect people around me. I think there is a little bit of that, like, wanting the power for himself, but it's not quite in the same way. But it has cost him a lot right now, and if he ever comes across finds the people who did it to him, it's cost him a great deal of a lot. He's lost his place in the academy, but he has not lost his funding. I really did think to begin with, was she Mel Trevor or something like that? Mel Trevor, I don't know. The woman who we met this episode, who, you know, she was looking and she was like, oh, yes, I might be the richest woman in the city, but I'm not the richest of my, like, family, my house, or whatever. I did wonder whether she was going to try and approach him, because if she could produce magic, maybe that would make her the most, whoa, isn't she the best out of her family? She can impress them all with that. But now this other guy is there, and I mean, saying to someone, like, if you're like, oh, I'm locking up this deadly weapon, and then the person you're underling is like, oh, but couldn't this weapon be used for loads of really, really good stuff? It's quite an interesting weapon, maybe we could study it. You could probably study it, actually. Why don't you study it? And then you go, oh no, we're going to destroy it. Have fun destroying it. Check, it gets destroyed. It's almost, does he want him to look into it? I definitely feel like at the very least Jace may have good intentions, but they are not going to end up that way. And I do not know the new guy what his intentions are. Saying that, like, he fought, like, he came from the underside and he had to fight for everything he's got. He didn't have a patron or a name, or even the things that, like, Jace, who is someone that doesn't have, it would seem, as many opportunities as other people on the top side. He still had to fight even harder than that. It makes you sort of think, does he have more of a drive for personal power and to prove everyone, see, you were wrong about me all along, I always was the most powerful? We will see. It's stressful though. And then we have strange underwater experiment man. He's making deals with enforcers. I guess he told them that the children came from Vander's place. He gave Weird Blonde Boy the stuff. He's experimenting on dangerous things, and I'm frightened about where we're going to go next. This was another fantastic episode. A reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon 2 weeks in advance, the edited version 1 week in advance, and thank you so much for watching.